Sometimes we can find ourselves feeling very stuck where we are. And we don't realize that it's we who keep ourselves stuck there. Simply because we've gotten used to where we are, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's unsafe. Because the new thing, the different thing, now seems scarier. The better thing now seems scarier, whether we realize that's why or not, than what we've gotten used to. The Caro tradition teaches us that life is a living memory. And this goes hand in hand with be it until you see it. Although often we think it's the opposite. We think that the situation around us needs to change for us to change. But it is the exact opposite. We have to change for our situation to change. And the thing is, often we think that taking action to change is the first step. But that can often be a misstep, because the first step to changing our lives isn't the action. It's figuring out what that action needs to be first. Hello everybody, and welcome to another video. I'm Annie, your Silicon Valley Sage Sister, here to bring consciousness to the forefront of your daily life to make life a little kinder and simpler. We find ourselves feeling stuck where we are. It even happens to me sometimes. I am just so grateful that I have had the tools to change how I feel. And those are the tools that I want to share with you today. It felt divinely timed because I was thinking about this yesterday and then I was watching someone else, and so I was just inspired to talk about this today. We think that we have to see it to believe it. We think that things have to change in order for us to change. But it's actually the other way around. We have to change in order for things around us to change. This includes things like our priorities, our values, our belief systems, our boundaries. As I say, we are what we consume, so that might include what we wear, what we eat, who we're around, the stuff that we watch and listen to. It's got to change. As I say, things have to change for changes to happen. And at any moment, we can decide to change. We can decide, but you have to decide. And then you have to figure out what those differences are to figure out what to do differently. That is how, as they say, becoming a vibrational match works. There is a meditation that I've done, that I've seen others do, that I'm putting up on Patreon for this very thing, locking in your vibrational match. I've been meaning to do it for a long time, and I just never got around to it, and it felt divinely timed, so here we are, because all in divine timing. It isn't even magic, is the thing. In the grand scheme of things, becoming a vibrational match for what you want isn't even necessarily magic in that sense. It doesn't even have to be spiritual. I was teaching people how to do this before I even knew the words vibrational match existed, because I had figured this out from just watching people when I was studying psychology. It just takes practice. There's no other way around it. It takes, let's see, how did I write this out? Because I want to say it exactly the way I wrote it. It takes having the courage to try, being willing to try again if it doesn't work the first time, and being willing to try slightly different and new ways of doing it if it's not working the way you expected it to. And the bravery to face when it doesn't work, to know that you need to do something completely differently. And then choosing again, something new. We can all do this. An example I have is that I used to literally act less confident than I was because I thought it made people more comfortable around me. It probably did. But because I did that, I ended up actually less confident for a time. And we do this to ourselves all the time, but we can do it in reverse. We can condition ourselves out of bad habits just as much as we condition ourselves into bad habits. And the best way to do this is with a plan. We can all do this, whether you do it through just thinking about it or meditating on it, which is basically thinking about it, journaling on it. If you think about who you are now and you think about who you want to be, and you can start figuring out what those differences between them are, and start one by one doing things differently, your life will be different. There is no magic pill. There is no magic incantation. It takes practice, and it takes being willing to choose again, try again, and keep trying. And I've been there. We get into these habits of defense mechanisms that we do to try to make other people feel comfortable. But we have to take care of ourselves first. Self-care always has to come first. Not only because you should come first for you, but because you can't take care of anybody else if you're not taken care of anyway. So I know what it's like to literally do things that are self-sabotaging for the sake of staying somewhere that you're used to, staying somewhere that you're kind of comfortable in, because doing the other thing seems scarier or less safe. But I'm telling you, when you do the things that you know would make you feel the best, that is when you feel the best. And the people that aren't meant to be around you fall away. And that's a good thing. That's what you want to have happen. There is nobody in your life that you need other than yourself. And there are more people around the corner who will love you for who you are. Not who you're trying to be, but who you are. Not who you think they want you to be, but who your best is. We are gonna attract what we are. And if we want to attract better things in our lives, we have to be better for ourselves. Even if that means doing the scary thing. Because I guarantee you when you do it, it won't end up feeling on the other side of it nearly as bad as you thought it would. If at all bad. You will, more often than not, I find people feel relieved, released, amazing, sitting there going, why didn't I do this sooner? I've had a couple of people who, including myself, went, whew, wow, what a wild ride, but boy, am I glad I did it. Most people, most of the time, even I, feel exhilarated, grateful, and happy just for doing that little thing that took care of yourself first. It's worth it. You deserve to be your best version of yourself, whatever that is to you. Often we can, whoa, my brain just went. Often we can end up trying to be what we think is what other people think our best is. We don't want to do that either. We can start to feel into, tap into the vibration of who we are meant to be, who our best self, highest self is. Life is a living memory. And if you just close your eyes and just think for a moment, meditate on for a moment, what is that different version of me like? And do those things instead, even if it's just one at a time. Things will start to not just be different, but get better. So, what are you ready to do differently? Thank you guys for joining me. I have put up the meditation that goes along with this video on Patreon for my patrons. I also have one-on-one spots available for my holistic health and healing sessions. If you're ready to heal, grow, expand your consciousness, and get proactive with your mind, body, and spirit, balanced self-care and health. Other links in the description as well. Thank you guys for joining me here. And as always, may the energies you serve you well. I say it for a reason. It's a little reminder that what you do is what makes your life what it is. And let's keep making our way through.